Took him a little while to win number 42. Now he's past Michael Andretti for number 43. But first of all, how did you go from where you started in the back to win this race?
Massive fuel save. Honestly, just sitting in the pack. Had a really good car, really fast car, so I just sat back and used that pace to save fuel. Just getting a massive number, and I knew once all those guys pulled in, I could go hard. And then we caught a yellow because that was sort of the thing we were hoping for, is to get one of those yellows, put us to the front, and then we were able to get better fuel behind Palou and then go a couple laps longer than him and jump in. So I've been trying to win this race for years. So over the moon, the guys did a great job. I felt really bad for him yesterday when I accidentally buttoned off on the pit speed limiter and ruined our day. But we're right in the game, and got to thank Verizon and Chevy for such tremendous support, and going to fight this hard to the end.
Only 35 points back in the championship now. It had been 5 years since you'd won an oval. Was that starting to weigh on your mind a little bit? Because I know how much you now love this style of racing.
It was, actually. I thought coming into the season, I'm going to win an oval this year. I want to win an oval, and I want to win multiple races, and we're still pushing and getting it done. Thanks, Ron. Thank you.
Mostly green. How are you physically with this long run in the heat today?
Yeah, it was good. It was fine physically. It was a bit heavy at the end there when we were pushing hard on tires, but yeah, it's all good.
Congratulations. Will Power has won at Iowa to Georgia.
Alex Palou comes home second, and Alex, I know you wanted one spot further, but after yesterday, you're finishing on the podium today. Can you consider today a successful day?
Yeah, absolutely. It was a good weekend. I mean, yesterday was a terrible day for us. Just made too many mistakes, but rebounded today. Almost got the win. I mean, it was really tough to pass. I think nobody could pass. They got us on the pits because they had a little bit more fuel, same as what we did to the 3 cars. So yeah, solid P2. Looking forward to Toronto next week. But yeah, it was overall a good weekend.
Solid day and a big rebound for Alex Palou.
Yeah, first and third. Hadn't won in an oval. Now 2 podiums, led almost 100 laps. Anything different that you can do in this race? Just circumstances that kept you from winning again.
Well, firstly, I just want to hope Stingray's okay. That was a hell of a crash and a bit scary. But yeah, we probably caught the yellow just at the wrong time there in that first run. But like you said, a first and a third, I'll take that. And best thing about it, I can have a beer now, enjoy the concert. So I'm excited. Got a lot of friends here, had a lot of people out here supporting the 33s, and yeah, just nice to get the championship back on track, and we're right in the game.
By the way, our cameras just caught Stingray giving a thumbs up as he is taken to get evaluated. So championship now, even a little more in it now after a really solid weekend?
Yeah, don't sleep on us. I said that many times, don't sleep on us. We'll keep coming. We've got ovals that we like coming up, and I feel good on Toronto too. So, you know, I just gonna keep driving the way I can, no mistakes, and execute the best I can, and hopefully, you know, bodes well. But ultimately, you know, the 2 out front, Will and Alex, have been class of the field all year. It's a matter of just trying to catch them and capitalize when they make mistakes. Thanks.
Solid weekend for the 15 crew. Graham was fast yesterday, just kind of got buried by track position, but good day for you guys here. How did you get the job done and ultimately come away with your best run of the year?
Yeah, well, yesterday was a bummer. Broken wheel. Of all the 8 spokes, only 1 was left holding on, and I'm thankful for that one because it would have been a huge accident without that. But the bad luck streak kind of kept hitting us. But today the boys just did a solid job. The car was very fast all weekend. Thought clearly we were the best of our team, and you know that showed today. And you know, boys did a good job in the pits. We just, you know, this is telling Oriole, you know, we're just refining. We're learning a lot with this hybrid. We're learning a lot, I think, today on the fuel mixtures. You know, I think others had a more aggressive fuel mixture in there, and they also probably, you know, things I think is to change the regeneration of the MGU, the power unit, help save fuel. So we're learning, and I think if we were to run back here tomorrow, it'd be better. And I also thought the track was finally starting to get there. Guys were using a lane and a half. It was starting to develop, and so I know it was a tough race, you know, for everybody. But the reality was, it was starting to come in like the old Iowa. So I'm excited to get back here next year and see some good racing.
Yeah, how was the challenge today of kind of feeling out that top group? But obviously when it's hotter like this, it inherently kind of just gets slicker. So what was that like?
It's hard to want to be the gutsy guy when you're in the top 7, 8 there. But Rossi got me on the high side on the restart. I was kind of choked up behind Pietro, who was a lap down, and that cost me. and he made a good run around the outside. So it was kind of there at the end. I was trying 1.5. I had some good runs on Kirkwood, good runs on Newgarden. But it's tough sledding. I mean, I think people got to understand from the test we did here, we're down 400 plus pounds of downforce. That's a huge chunk that you're trying to learn, let alone a new tire. So, as I said, I thought today was a much better race. At least for us, there was a lot more action happening. And frankly, with maybe a couple more holes of downforce, not all the way to max, but a couple more for next time around, I think it put on a heck of a good show.
Good day for Graham Rahal, finishes in the 8th spot. Georgia.
It was also a good day for Santino Ferrucci, and I must say, you definitely made it exciting. I feel like there were 4 or 5 laps there where you were passing people on the low side, the high side, and everything in between. How were you able to do that?
I like this track a lot. I truly believe in the high side and making it work. We had a really great race car. Bummed we couldn't get back inside the top 10, just obviously missing out. I had a lot of fun. Honestly, I went wheel to wheel with Kyle for maybe a good 3 laps, just, bumping off each other. It was probably the most fun I've had in a race car this year with this series, but it was awesome. So I hope everyone at the end of the race is obviously okay. And I can't thank Sexton Property Chevrolet and AJ Foy Racing for a great race car all weekend and some awesome results to get to the 10th in the championship.
Santino ends the day in 11th.
So Kyle Kirkwood was one of those involved in that very scary incident at the checkered flag. You have any idea what happened ahead of you?
I know Rossi was running out of fuel and stayed on line. He was going much, much slower. My spotter apprised me of the situation, but clearly it was a bit too late for Stingray there. So hopefully he's okay. Hopefully everyone that's gotten out is okay. Yeah, definitely a very, very scary wreck, flipping multiple times up in the air. As soon as I saw that, they were actually slowing down so much because Rossi was already going slow and Stingray's in the air, and he's pretty much like a parachute when you're sitting perpendicular to the road with one of these cars that I lifted out of the throttle, out of the corner, and then instantly spun myself. So that's unfortunate. Sorry for the guys. We're having a good race there. We were actually still on the last lap, so we actually didn't finish that bad. I'm actually surprised looking at this scene that we finished 16th. So, sorry to the guys. Hopefully everyone's okay. Scary wreck. Glad everyone is semi-okay.
A lot of us are claustrophobic, too. When you're trapped in the car, and I'm sure it's boiling hot, what were those few moments like, and how anxious is that?
I hate being stuck inside the car. Yeah. There's no doubt about that. When I was stuck at Indianapolis upside down, the first thing that you want is to get out of the car. And obviously the safety crew came over. They got to me within seconds, and they calmed me down and said, "You're good. We'll help you out. We're here for you." So that was very calming for me. But no, initial thought when you crash and there's a car on top of you or you're stuck, the last thing you want to do is be on fire, and that's initial instinct for a driver is just get out. But obviously these cars are so safe now to where we don't have to be too concerned, and obviously the AMR safety crew was there for us in case anything was wrong.
So glad you're okay. Thank you, Kyle.
Thank you.
Let's hear from Ed Carpenter.
Yeah, Ed Carpenter, one of those involved in the last lap incident. First, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine, just angry.
I know we're going to play a replay for you here in a second, but what did you feel? What happened from your perspective?
I knew Alex was off pace up ahead. My spotter had told me a couple laps before, and it looked like Stingray just misjudged the closing rate somehow, even though it was clear Alex was slow. And then I spun just trying to get down. Didn't think it was going to be that bad. I kind of slid into Alex, and then I think Kirkwood came from behind and hit me and launched me right over the top of Alex. That was the hardest part of the crash. But yeah, just a shame, 2 days in a row, 2 accidents that, really I was just a victim of, but just hate it for the team, the amount of work they have to do last night to get ready for Toronto, see if there's enough hybrids to keep replacing to put in these things to keep that thing going. Just brutal. Hopefully we can get some results.
We're glad to see that you're okay. Dylan.
Pato O'Ward finishes in the 6th spot today, had a second last night, so kind of a quiet day for you, but how would you sum up today's run?
Yeah, no, first of all, I think Stingray did the thumbs up, so at least he's in conscious, but solid weekend for us in terms of points. Other than that, from the looks of it and just from the sounds of it, it was a snooze fest. Palou and Power should go straight to Las Vegas with how lucky they got with that yellow. But yeah, on to Toronto.
How was the track evolving over the course of today and even compared to yesterday?
How what?
How was the track evolving and changing compared to yesterday and just from start to finish today?
It was quite similar balance-wise, I would say. You know, I think yesterday you saw a lot more changes in the pit stop sequences when everybody was very packed up. But today everybody was within 8/10 of each other, within a second of each other, and then there really was not a lot going on, I would say. At least my race was extremely quiet.
All right, Pato finishes 6th today, and it was a 2nd yesterday. Good weekend for the 5-team, Georgia.
Yes, and 2 fourths in a row for Scott Dixon. I know yesterday you said there were some things that you wanted to change to bring into today. Do you feel like those things happened?
Yeah, we didn't have as many issues, so that was kind of nice. But yeah, we really the only racy part would have been maybe the first stop, and obviously the 12 and the 10 got pretty lucky there, or did a good job of saving fuel. Were able to extend to catch that caution. That was a huge help, obviously, for the 12. But then they did a good job, obviously, on the last overcut there too on the 10. So, yeah, we didn't never pass anybody. We didn't get past. We just kind of stayed 3rd and then got jumped by the 12 and ended up 4th. So, pair of fourths is you know, kind of what we had this weekend. Everybody on the PNC Bank number 9 did a hell of a job. But yeah, it's a shame. You know, this track has been a lot of fun in the past and multi-lanes. Hopefully, we can figure something out for next year and try and get that second lane to come back in.
With those long green flag runs, how physical does that get?
Not much at all, really, because it's pretty smooth now, and you know, okay, the conditions are pretty warm today, but you know, everybody's running a cool suit. You're kind of in a big fuel save mode because you know, once the leader catches the back of the pack, you know, everybody kind of runs the same mid-19 time, and you know, yeah, so it's actually not too bad.
Well, nonetheless, a pair of 4s for Scott Dixon this weekend. Thanks, Scott.
One guy who wasn't expecting to race here this Sunday, but he did, unfortunately didn't get to the checkered flag. Connor Daly is with Georgia.
Yeah, it was an unfortunate circumstance retiring early from the race, but Connor, I have to know just how big of a feat is it to jump in a car when you didn't even know you were going to be racing earlier this weekend?
Well, this must be the first time NBC's ever talked to the last place finisher, but I appreciate it. It was hard, honestly. But for me, I love the start. I hope that I get a clip from our camera because I think we passed like 2 or 3 rows of cars by the end of the first lap, which is what Iowa was all about, right? We love that. But yeah, I mean, it's just tough. Like the hybrid, I was kind of figuring out where and when to use that because you can definitely, it's not a huge boost here, but you can definitely utilize it in certain ways to kind of help defend and maybe attack. So it was a big learning experience, and honestly, I just hate it for these guys. Like to have a failure of any kind, you know, that's tough. It's just no one's fault. Like this is a hard sport that we are playing, so things happen, and they deserve better because they had great cars. So like the cars were fun to drive. So it is what it is.
Thanks, Connor. Kevin.
We're back near the Infield Medical Care Center with the head of IndyCar Medical, Dr. Julia Visor. Give us an update, what you can tell us about Stingray Robb.
Stingray is doing well. He's awake, he's alert, he's in good condition. We're going to send him to the hospital for precautionary measures to get some advanced imaging. He's going to go by air just because of the location, but he's in good spirits and he says hello to everyone.
Okay, that's good news. Thank you.
Hi folks, Lee Diffie from NBC Sports here. If you truly enjoyed what you just watched, you can get more news, interviews, and highlights by subscribing to the Motorsports on NBC YouTube page. You can get it all, so go for it.